Hey guys, what's up? Let's check out the games for Monday, March the 27th. There are 8 games on the schedule. We're going to break all these games down, do our analysis, and come up with some picks. The regular season, guys, is winding down. Less than 2 weeks left, or just about 2 weeks left of the season. Teams, different agendas. Other teams chasing the playoffs, other teams tanking, other teams looking for playoff positioning. We're going to try to figure things out and see if we can come up with something to play on this Monday. So with that being said, guys, let's get started. In the first game of the schedule, guys, we got the Milwaukee Bucks traveling to Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Bucks currently 15.5-point favorites. I had Milwaukee favored by 15 in this game. Not much to analyze here, guys. The best record in the league playing against the worst record in the league. The Bucks also have motivation to win this ball game. Since their loss in Denver and Boston's win against the Spurs has brought Boston just a game and a half behind in the Eastern Conference, atop the Eastern Conference for that top spot. They have Milwaukee. I just looked at their schedule. They have Detroit and next up Indiana before they play Boston and then Philly. The next two, Boston and Philly, guys, those two games are pretty much going to decide the top spot in the East. If Milwaukee can get both those games, they're going to lock up the top spot. They're still the favorite, a game and a half with just 8 games left. It's not going to be easy for Boston to surpass them. But, guys, anything can happen. You could tell by looking at the injury report, everybody is in for Milwaukee. Everybody. Nobody's sitting at full strength. What can I tell you guys? The only way to go in this game is with Milwaukee and the minus 15.5. Personally, I don't like betting on these huge road favorites. I will most likely leave this game alone, but Milwaukee, guys, is definitely the huge favorite in this ball game. In the next matchup, guys, we've got the Dallas Mavericks traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Pacers. The Mavs currently a 1-point favorite. I had this game estimated as a pick'em. What can we say about the Mavs, guys? A team that started the season with so much promise and just 1 week, 2 weeks left in the regular season, an absolute catastrophe. Things have completely spiraled out of control for the Mavs. They lost 2 straight games to a completely shorthanded Charlotte Hornets team. The Hornets, guys, second to last in the Eastern Conference, just an absolute disaster themselves, playing with no starters, and they just beat the Mavericks straight up twice. This is going to be Dallas's second night of a back-to-back, and from the looks of things, they're going to be playing also without Luka Doncic. He got his 16th technical foul, which means 1 game suspension. There's some talk about that T getting rescinded and him playing in this ball game against the Pacers. Well, from the information we got right now, guys, is he's going to be out. Dallas, guys, is a complete train wreck. There's going to be chasers in this game, but the team, guys, there's just nothing going on there. Just no confidence. Nothing is absolutely going on. Without Doncic, I just can't see them being competitive. Even the Pacers, guys, look like they're not playing for anything. They're 2.5 games out behind the Bulls, and with the Bulls winning again against the Lakers, things have gotten even tougher for the Pacers. Halliburton, Miles Turner listed as questionable. I'm sure they're going to want to play spoilers. In my opinion, guys, the Pacers are the better team right now, and I'm going to be looking for a play with Indiana and the +1. Granted, I am going to wait and see if they take that T away from Doncic, even though I don't think they will. And I think Indiana, guys, is the right side in this game. In the next game of the night, guys, we got the Houston Rockets traveling to New York and Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks. Knicks 12.5-point favorites. I had the Knicks favored by 13.5. Just a point off my line with the actual line. The Knicks, guys, struggling a bit lately. Have lost 3 straight ball games. Their latest loss was they did have a pretty hard schedule. Their 3 straight losses came to the Timberwolves, the Heat on the road, and the Magic. That was the second night of back-to-back. All those 3 games were 3 games in 4 nights. Tough scheduling for the Knicks. Fortunately for them, it didn't have really any effect as far as their playoff positioning was concerned. They're still in the 5th place. No harm, no foul, as they say. In this matchup, guys, of course, they are the ultimate favorite in this game. The Rockets also coming in on the second night of back-to-back. They were in Cleveland. Got blown out in Cleveland. I do expect the Knicks to win this ball game, but a little look on the injury report. I see Jalen Brunson is listed as questionable, the Knicks starting point guard. The reason for this 12.5 point line. Usually we would see games like this at this latter part of the season being much higher. We're used to seeing some 14.5, 15.5 point lines. In this case, I think Jalen Brunson being listed as questionable, for the reason for this actually pretty normal looking 12.5 point line. In this game, guys, I do expect the Knicks to win. I don't think they'll go too crazy. They'll blow out the Rockets. Most likely, I won't be involved in this game. I don't like betting these games, guys, with these huge lines. But if I had to pick a side over here, it's always a good idea to take the points in this situation. And I don't think I will do anything different with this matchup. Houston, plus 12.5. But I wouldn't blame you guys for completely staying away from this ball game. In the next game of the night, guys, we got the Phoenix Suns traveling to Salt Lake City to take on the Jazz. Phoenix currently a 6.5 point favorite. I had this line estimated with Phoenix as a 7.5 point favorite. This is a point lower than my estimate. Guys, this is early while I'm doing this video. I did check the injury report. DeAndre Ayton is scheduled to come back for Phoenix. That is going to be a boost for the Suns. Utah has Lauri Markkanen listed as questionable. This is the most important factor when handicapping this ball game, if Markkanen is going to be playing or not. With the information that we have at the moment, I am guessing that there's a little bit of a better chance that he does play. And guys, what we need to keep in mind over here is both teams are going to be playing their third game in 4 nights, which means tired legs. Currently, I don't see an over-under while I'm doing this video. The line hasn't come out yet. For you guys that like to bet the totals, the logical play here probably would be an underplay. In my opinion, guys, over here, the 6.5 points could be a bit too many. I think the Suns would be satisfied even with just a small 1-2 point win. I do expect them to win this ball game. Jazz, guys, a tough outfit. Even these players that are finishing out the season, they have been fairly competitive in most of the ball games. If Markkanen plays in Salt Lake City, guys, they are tough to play against. Phoenix, guys, the ultimate favorite in this ball game, but as of now, I would be going with Utah over here and the plus 6.5. That's going to be my play in this game. Utah plus 6.5. In the next game of the night, guys, and the most anticipated matchup of the schedule, we got the Philadelphia 76ers traveling to the Mile High City to take on the Nuggets. Nuggets currently 5-point favorites. I had the Nuggets estimated as a 6-point favorite. This is going to be the matchup, guys, that will pretty much, I think, determine the MVP of this regular season. Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic are going to be squaring off in this game. Two teams, though, that have recently been trending in completely different directions. The Nuggets have found their stride again and have been winning after a small 4-game losing streak. They are currently on a 3-game winning streak now. First, tops in the Western Conference with a 3-game lead over the second-place Memphis Grizzlies. The Sixers, guys, have lost a couple straight, and they have been without their starting point guard and their second-best player, James Harden, for 3 games now. He's listed as questionable again for this game. I think this game, guys, is going to be more important for the Sixers. We know Joel Embiid and his teammates are really going to want to get him this game. And the first time these two teams played in Philadelphia, guys, Philly ended up getting the best of the Nuggets. They made a big run at the end of that game. This, of course, does have a little bit of a revenge factor type of thing going for the Nuggets. But I think the Sixers, guys, are really going to want this game a little more. Now, if Joel Embiid, I'm almost positive he's going to be playing, even though he is on the injury report. There's no way he's going to be sitting this game out. And I'm anticipating a James Harden return. I think him and his teammates are really going to want to get this game for Joel. They feel like he got gypped from the MVP last season. He's going all out. This game, like I said, is going to determine the whole thing. I expect this game, guys, to be a bloodfest. It's going to go crazy. This is going to be, I think, an extremely competitive ball game if both teams are at full strength. And with everything I just said right now, there's no way I can go other way than the Philadelphia 76ers with the +5. Even though, guys, I know it is extremely difficult to bet on the Nuggets on their home court. We saw what they did to the Milwaukee Bucks just a couple of nights ago. A very tough team at home. But I think this game has a little bit of a different meaning to it. The reason why I'm going with Philly here in the +5. But, guys, of course, before we take this bet, we got to make sure that the beard is back in the lineup for the Sixers. In the next game of the night, guys, we got the New Orleans Pelicans traveling to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. The Pelicans currently 8.5-point favorites. I had them also favored by 8.5. Line is identical, my line with the actual line. The Pelicans guys have found the best time to hit their stride. They have won 4 straight games. During this final stretch, they're going to make their move and try to get into this play-in tournament. And why not even the playoffs? A top 6 spot. They are 37-37, just percentage points behind the 6th place Warriors. Of course, it'll be an extremely difficult task. Like I said in the previous videos, the Pelicans have a very difficult schedule to finish out the season. I think it still will be very tough for them to get in, but guys, they are proving themselves worthy. They've won 4 straight. In their last game, they beat the Clippers on the road. Of course, the Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard, but still, tough place to play. They went in there and got the job done. They'll also be catching the Blazers on the 6th night of back-to-back. A Blazers team that's just finishing out the season with some young players, the more inexperienced players. And this is a great spot for the Pelicans to go in there and get a decisive W. I'm going to be looking for taking a possible play here with New Orleans and the -8.5. In our next ball game, guys, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves making the short trip from San Francisco to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Kings currently 5.5-point favorites. I had the Kings favored by 6 in this ball game. The Sacramento Kings, guys, in 3rd place in the Western Conference, 2 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies and 6 games behind the Phoenix Suns. It looks like they're probably going to be finishing up the season in that 3rd place, which means that this game is more of significance to the Timberwolves than it is for the Kings. The Timberwolves got a big win in San Francisco against the Warriors. They were staring defeat right in the eyes. They were down by a point with just 27 seconds left in the game, and Golden State with possession. They forced a turnover, and Karl Anthony Towns hit a big 3-pointer. They managed to hold off the Warriors and get a very important win in that ball game. They are currently in the 7th spot, and guys, they can easily move up. 4th place Suns are just a game and a half ahead of them, and the Clippers, we know, have injury worries. They just beat the Warriors, just a half game behind Golden State. And the most important part for the Timberwolves, guys, they are completely healthy. Anthony Edwards came back in the ball game. Granted, this is going to be the 2nd night of a back-to-back. Always a tough spot, especially if you have to play against a team like Sacramento that likes to play a lot of up-tempo basketball and will have fresh legs. But what we see over here, guys, also is on the injury report, De'Aaron Fox is listed as questionable. Of course, his status very important in this ball game. If he is not in the lineup, which from what I see, it is a hamstring strain. Usually, I don't think teams, especially in the position like the Suns, will want to risk injury. I don't think he will be playing. Timberwolves, usually they do give some players rest days in the 2nd night of back-to-backs, but they have no room. They don't have that luxury in this ball game. Guys, even though it is a back-to-back spot in the Sacramento Kings, very good ball club, I am rolling with the Timberwolves here and the +5.5. I think they do have more motivation. They are at full strength, and they can get the job done. In the last game of the schedule, guys, we got the Chicago Bulls taking on the LA Clippers. The Clippers currently 5-point favorites. I had the Clippers favored by 4.5 in this game. The Clippers in their last ball game were taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. They suffered a big blowout loss, 20-point loss in that game. And when things couldn't get any worse for the Clippers after that bad injury to Paul George, Kawhi Leonard had to exit that game at the end of the 3rd quarter with a facial contusion. The good news for the Clippers is, I did look at the injury report. It looks like he's listed as probable. He will be playing, but how comfortable will he be feeling with that shot to the face? That is unknown. And in that game against the Pelicans, guys, he had a very bad game. He only went 4 for 16 from the field. The whole team struggled. But, of course, the Pelicans guys did shoot over 60% from 3 in that game. A big reason for this the big blowout loss. Not too many teams would be able to avoid a loss after a 3-point onslaught that the Pelicans went on. The Bulls guys are also coming in hot. They just beat the Lakers. This is going to be their 2nd night of back-to-back, but no travel. They're staying in LA. The Bulls guys have won 2 straight now. They blew out both the Blazers and beat the Lakers comfortably, both teams by double digits. This 5-point line at first glance could look a little low, especially when you look at the Clippers. Definitely have more motivation than the Bulls. The Bulls, of course, they're also involved in a play-in play-in competition. They're currently 10th. They do have a 2.5 game lead, a 3.5 game lead from the 11th place Pacers. They're pretty much going to be in the play-in tournament. The only thing that they can play for here is positioning. And why not? They're just half a game behind the Hawks and the Raptors. An 8th spot, guys, is extremely important because in case they lose the first matchup in the play-in tournament, they will have a second chance. The Clippers are currently 5th, but in this jam-packed Western Conference, they are not out of the woods yet. Just a small losing streak could give them a similar fate to the Mavericks. It wouldn't be a surprise to me how some things can just change from one day to the next with some injuries. Anything could really happen in this league. It's truly remarkable when you think about it. In this ball game, guys, I think the Clippers, this line does look a little low, but I expect the Bulls to be extremely competitive. The 2 straight games with big blowout wins. I don't know how the Clippers will be able to take on a Bulls team like this coming in with such huge momentum. Of course, the Clippers guys do have enough quality to win this ball game, and the chances are I think they do, but I do expect this game to go down to the wire. I actually like the Bulls here and the +5. And this is what I got for you guys on this Monday, March the 27th. We did our analysis, we broke the games down, and we got our picks, and now we are ready to roll. Guys, obviously I do this video a lot earlier than game time. If I have to update any of these picks with some late information coming in, like I mentioned, some important matchups, like especially the Philadelphia-Denver game, if James Harden is in or out, I will update these picks on my Telegram and my Twitter. You can see the links at the bottom of the screen. I also have them in the description. Guys, if you like my analysis, make sure to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, subscribe and hit the notification bell to get alerted when I am on with my videos. And guys, with that being said, good luck on whatever you decide to bet, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Later.